Alright guys, HyDra again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The snaking drama is potentially continuing again already before the CDL season has even begun. Dashy watching some of Cellium's POV last night, giving lots of thoughts on what makes Cellium such a difficult player to beat, but also noticing in a couple of instances on Protocol, potentially the return of snaking to Cellium's playstyle. Not the egregious snaking we've seen over the last few years, but certainly use of movement, which will potentially imply a rather decent competitive advantage. Dashy says it might be time for him to pull out the snakes as well. Very much interested in your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. First of all, we've got to talk quickly on the maps because as Octane says, it's been 4 days. I already have 4 maps I refuse to play in pubs. And like, as we've said, the core gameplay, the weapon balance, other features are good about this game. But there's some things that need fixing. The maps are the main problem right now, which is a surprise for a trade game, it's got to be said. But that is where we find ourselves, as Kenny says. They call me the Babylon Demon. I refuse to play anything else in pubs. And yeah, Babylon and Subsonic certainly seem to be Octane's favourites. And as Method says, he doubles down right on the 27th of October. He said, we might need a map pack. Yesterday he says, yeah, no doubt about it. We definitely need a map pack. And obviously what's Nasty kind of throwing into the mix as well. I don't really think I've seen any player. Now, we know that the pros, like, they're never that happy, are they, really, with the state of the game? They're always going to find something to complain about. And it's always how it's going to be. Even, you know, Counter-Strike players that are playing a phenomenal game that's obviously been refined over 20 years, they still complain all the time about various things. And that's just how things are when you're a competitive player at the highest level. I get it, for sure. But, and also when a new COD comes out, there's always so many things wrong with the game. There's plenty to complain about, and for good reason, to be fair. But I've not really seen any pro say, no, the maps are fine. Great job, guys, right? Like, every pro is of this opinion to some degree, and as Nasty says, we need a big map pack, a Ben Beans size map pack, and Methods is like, hey, I still run your city, don't worry about it. Of course, Methods originally on Toronto a couple of years ago. I do remember people talking about this, and it was discussed again briefly yesterday. So on the 10th of September, this is when there was a rumour that some of the maps that Sledgehammer were going to bring into Modern Warfare 3 were cut out because they're going to use them in Black Ops 6 instead. So this is pretty interesting, and this does seem to be true. So when we get the post-launch seasons in Black Ops 6, which hopefully are coming very soon, but they're probably not, whenever we get new maps arriving, the expectation is that there have been some maps that Sledgehammer have designs that are going to be in those post-launch seasons. Now, with any luck, that is a Rio Vista 6-star, you know, rebuild or something designed in that style that was never brought into MW3 but is going to arrive into Black Ops 6, because at the end of the day, I think we would love to have new maps in the game that play just as well as the old maps. Like, ideally, you don't want to have to keep recycling maps forever. Personally, I would far rather recycle old maps than play bad maps. Like, that is just what it is. I've got no problem bringing Raid and Standoff back again if the game is going to be played better, which it would if they did that. Now, would I prefer to see maps that haven't been played before? Raid, as I've said before, I think it should be a staple, should be in every game, to be honest. But outside of that, the other maps they could bring back, Black Ops 4 ones, Hacienda Frequency, Arsenal, Gridlock, stuff like this, they could bring those maps back. There's even some Black Ops 3 maps they could even consider as well. There's lots of options out there, and even like, you know, London Docks and World War II, you know, that could be a map that they bring back every so often. There's some options. I do think ideally, and most fans would probably agree, they would love to have maps that play just as well as those ones, but actually are new maps. I mean, if the map set was just Rio Vista 6-star, those maps are pretty good. Maybe not quite as good as some of the epic COD maps from, you know, the annals of history, but they are nonetheless still pretty damn good maps for the most recent title. If we get more of those, that's probably okay. And I think we can. We just have to be a bit patient, which is a challenge, of course. And this is when 04, maybe not so patient. It's funny because Black Ops 6's release has been very solid. Like, lots of buzz about campaign, lots of buzz about zombies. The player base on the game is probably higher than we've seen for other launches over the last few years. They've done a good job of it, no doubt about it, and the marketing's been great. But from a COD Pro perspective, it's not been the best launch ever. I know that Dashy was talking about this as well, that because of the New Zealand stuff, the game launch doesn't feel the same maybe as it used to. Dashy is really looking to play some high roller chows. Like, there are scrims happening, there are 8s happening, there are plenty of tournaments happening, so it's not like the players have nothing to play. But I think Dashy was maybe wanting to play kind of stuff like what he was playing in Black Ops 3 in the off-season, with just $500, $1,000 chals. But that's not how it is, and as he says, I'm kind of worried about the game, hope it doesn't die quickly, I can't find anything to play. So when the pros say can't find anything to play, they generally mean, you know, 8s and chals and stuff like that. But as we all know, the maps are what gives the game its longevity, and well, so far it isn't exactly looking especially good. Couple of quick things on Los Angeles Thieves. Accuracy mentioned yesterday in the Cloud9 podcast they did that, well, he nearly joined Thieves. He was actually going to join Thieves alongside Shane, but then they went for Sendu instead. Pretty interesting development there. I don't know if that had anything to do with getting HyDra onto the team rights, because, you know, I'm not exactly saying HyDra and Sendu are a package deal, but, you know, for whatever reason, they preferred getting Sendu in than Accuracy, so he nearly went there, and then they decided to go a different direction, and he goes to Cloud9 instead. So pretty interesting, but there are a couple of fascinating clips coming out of the Los Angeles Thieves Cup over the last couple of days. Nadeshot choking a nuke was pretty funny, and there was also this clip where Scrappy, in this situation, you know, bides his time, sees the first guy, waits for the second guy, gets the second kill, and misses a ton of bullets, and then gets absolutely slammed. So, yeah, that was pretty ugly. Nadeshot, of course, was like, all right, what's your salary again? Let me speak to my accountant and see if we can get that one changed. But a fair few clips to share for you guys here. Nadeshot, of course, also trying to give the boys advice. Nade is such a good character to have in the scene. I really want to get some Nadeshot watch parties this season, even if it's only for the majors, even if it's only for the big Los Angeles Thieves games, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I want Nadeshot involved more and more, because the guy is just too funny, especially if he was talking to the Los Angeles Thieves guys. So a couple of clips on this, but also a couple of clips from Dashy watching Cellium's POV, because as he does so, he realizes that, okay, maybe there's a little bit more to this game than meets the eye.
Top real?
Top right, top right, top right. Yes, two, yes, two.
Oh my god, I'm dog shit.
Ew! Nah.
Oh, no.
Nah. That's 10 grand back.
Yeah, you might have to find him.
Nah, brother. That ain't the one.
Yo, are we lagging out?
I'm actually so ass.
Oh my
That's
god. Nah,
crazy.
you know what?
Oh my god, bro.
That's okay, bro. That's okay, man.
That's great news, brother. Salary's coming down. That's great news.
Just like that. Push it back.
It's okay,
Yeah,
bro.
Holy
Don't even
I got
sweat
you,
it, bro. Don't even sweat it.
Oh, dude, what are we like?
That was a great first map, gentlemen.
Nah.
Here we go. See that?
Yo, would it be insane for me to give some constructive criticism? Would that be something that you would find insane?
Insane.
I would find it insane, but like we're all streaming, so it's really good entertainment.
All right,
so
perfect. There you go, Ghosty. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Clip farming. I could sound faded. When you guys have like a 2v2, or if you guys have like numbers advantage, I feel like you guys play so standard. You guys are just watching lanes, watching crosses. Everybody's kind of spread out without, again, sounding faded. Bro, group up, rewrap the map, fucking hit something, baby. Damn. I know that you could probably see the entire map from a single spot on this fucking, on that map specifically.
What round are you talking about?
Every round.
Every round. We just win 6-4 every round.
I know you won the map. I'm saying some of the rounds that you lost.
Okay,
like, I
so
feel like
think
we
you're
got
talking about
cinder
the one
blocks
before
on,
we
bro.
take, I agree. I
These
think it's like the
S&D
one before we
kids, they
dog
take
shit.
pistols out and they wrap the map together, bro. They flip the map upside down.
S&D kids, gunless.
I'm not talking about them specifically, but S&D
Oh.
kids have always ran
thought
pros
you were
in
talking about this
search.
match.
I mean, you lost to Almond and Blast earlier. I bet they were
One and
rapping
done
a
on
lot.
Yakuza, whatever the map's called.
I only come in as a 2.0 S&D X Games
Our
KD
actual-
gold
our actual
medalist.
issue- wait, Matt, our actual issue over the last 48 hours has been the first 6 rounds. We decide we just want to sprint at things by ourselves.
Yeah, well, if
and
you're gonna
also,
sprint
I'm
at
still
something,
learning,
just
bro.
have
I'm
somebody
like
with
30
you.
I'm at least 35% of those first.
I'm
6
still
rounds.
learning,
I'll
bro.
take
Like,
more than my share.
trust me, I was
I'm
in
running
the
around.
lab last night watching. Now I know my timings.
All right,
And
good
I've
luck.
said this.
It makes sense in my head.
It's good damage. That's how aBeZy is. Like, you just like reach out 2 guys knowing well into the he's gonna reach out into an angle where he's gonna basically take cover and he's gonna have like 3-4 bullets just to do damage. And even though he got him weak, he didn't even repeak. So they're in such a shit scenario where like if they wait for their health to regen, they just lose their timing because they had numbers. They killed 2 guys, and if they go back into him, well, they're weak and going into cells iron. Basically plays like 80-20s. 80-20 in terms of like percentages. Like a lot of players, like I feel like I'm one of those players that takes like a lot of 50-50s, maybe even like 40-60s, like against me. Like I'll give people some advantage, but Cell will like literally never give you an advantage. Like if he fights you, it's like 70-30 at worst. At least it feels like it. Oh, yeah, he got left, bro. Oh, no, they're triple chunk. That's a good pump. Damn, you can snake in this hoe. I didn't know you could move like that. This is some MW3 shit. This is not like Treyarch, bro. What happened, Trek? We're caving into the sledgehammer movement or fucking IW movement? I'm about to throw these pumps in, bro. I was throwing them bitches last year. I'm down to run it back. So, Roddy, I love Cell. Dude, if you don't play Cell and you're on your A game, he's always fries you. Because, like, he's always, like, max, like, rattiness. So, like, he's pretty much always a hard kill. Like, if I'm getting ripped, or if I'm not, like, if I'm playing at, like, B grade, he's just always, like, pretty much frying your shit. But if you're on your A game, at least you could compete with him. And says Cell plays like he's 4. Yeah, he does. Plays as if he has to win, like, every single gunfight.
So here we are on Protocol, right? And this is Dashy watching Cellium's POV. Now look, is Cellium hitting in a dirty snake? I mean, it could be worse, right? I mean, he does hit one here for sure. And this is, oh, well, it's only a 1 pump, it's a 2 pump or whatever. And he does kind of 2 pump one door or the other. So he kind of pumps this door, then he kind of pumps this door back again. So, you know, maybe by the rules, by the Zuma Commissioner rules, that's okay. And then he kind of does it again. And look, he's not exactly playing a CDL official match here, right? He's playing against Exceeding Co. But nonetheless, it is interesting to see what's possible. And that's, I think, one of the issues with Protocol. I think it is one of my general issues with the game, is that lots of these maps are just really quite tall. Like, there's quite a lot of verticality in play, and it's probably okay. But a map like this on Protocol, it just becomes pretty difficult to counter some of these spots, especially when the snaking, as we saw the other day, if you do it, just about go prone, then, you know, sprint forward, stand up again. If you do it in a spot like this, it's very difficult to actually take you out of any of these positions, let alone a height advantage position, and you're snaking as well. So, you know, one of the reasons why Cell is a pretty difficult kill once again into a position like this, and that's when we see the snaking start to come through. So, yeah, if Cell's going to be hitting the snake and cheese like that, and sure, maybe it's not like, oh, he's going to just keep pumping again and again and again. As Dashy says, well, if it's possible to throw a couple of snakes in like this to at least hold the angle and not get shot at while you're literally going for the regen, Dashy might have to once again implement it into his playstyle as well. So definitely seems like snaking will be a talking point again this year. I think there's absolutely no doubt about that. And of course, Dashy also went on to say that, look, Cellium plays the rattiest of anyone in the league. I think it was funny when Shotzzy said that Cellium effectively plays like he's poor, like he needs the money. And Dashy follows up and says, yeah, he plays like he needs to win every single gunfight that he gets into. And that's not necessarily always a good thing, just because, you know, in COD, sometimes you need to die to enable space for your team. You need to bait your teammate, for example. Let's say you're one shot. You need to be the guy flying around the corner to make the space for the second guy. If you don't, if you bait him, you slow down the pace of the game. And I've seen Cell do this plenty of times over the last few years. So it's not always perfect, but obviously, you know, Cell knows what he's doing on some level. And at the World Cup, he played so much faster and was an absolute force to be reckoned with on the map. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Thought this was kind of fascinating. So only 7 players ever in COD history have reached a grand final in 7 consecutive calendar years. And, well, that happens for the... So calendar years is interesting, right? Because Scump made the grand finals of Vegas and won it during Black Ops 4. That was in 2018, however. And in 2019, OpTic didn't make another finals that year. So, technically that was true for Scump and JCap, right? But that record is due to be tied very soon indeed by aBeZy, who, well, if he makes a finals this year, our FaZe not going to make a finals this year, they probably are, he will tie the record of Scump and Cap up there at 8 consecutive calendar years with a grand finals appearance. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.